into that.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's
so
get into it.
let's start with the original question. What is the purpose of art in society?
Right.
Because it does seem like when you think about something as simple as, I don't know, a car, I can very easily explain to you the purpose of that.
Right.
It's a very practical purpose, get from point A to point B in a very convenient manner. Same thing with clothing.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, clothes. These are very practical things. These
Yeah,
are
very
things that we
straightforward.
need. You know, if you want to get even more into the necessities of life, food, water, they serve a purpose. They're very practical things. Is art a practical? Is it necessarily a practical thing?
I really feel like that's relative.
Okay.
Just because,
I respect that.
I mean, speaking of practicality, I feel like it depends on.
I'm messing with the mic again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess what's considered practical in a different culture, or even person to person. Because I feel like I know people that would not feel the same way I do, whereas they might think that art is not practical at all.
Right.
You know, and that it's frivolous. And
yeah.
Well, that's like one of the first things that get like in the school system.
Yeah.
That's one of the first
that's
things
that gets booted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. If they're losing, you mean like for budget cuts and stuff? If they're running out of money, then yeah.
But it connects with our emotional well-being, art, and even like school doesn't really teach a lot of the important things as far as like being honest, having integrity. Like
at all.
Yeah, things that like employers actually really look for.
Very true.
And I think art is something that can help with.
Absolutely.
That's deep, right there. Your thoughts more on the purpose of
society, Kayla? I think that it does.
Seems like you got something.
Oh, just a little bit. It changes from person to person, but I mean, for me personally, I feel that in my life I need art to survive.
Wow.
Yeah, and I know that might be considered a bold statement, but even just things like this, because really the definition of art is expression. Meaning that things like what we're doing right now, discussion, whether it be painting, drawing, music, if you make kites, if you design cars, that's all considered a type of art. As long as you're expressing some part of yourself, that's an art. And that's why I think it's so necessary, because we don't live just for just to live.
Yeah. It's not we don't have the survival instinct that animals do.
Yeah.
We don't just live just to live.
Exactly.
That's their whole purpose of living. It's just to survive.
No, but we search within ourselves, and sometimes certain people feel this need to create and to experience and appreciate beauty.
Awesome. And sometimes when you're in that moment of like when you were like you were singing that song and when you were actually writing it, you probably didn't. It's like those moments where you don't really think about yourself. Like your ego kind of falls away.
Yeah.
I guess, and I think that's part of a good art. And like you said, like making cars, making kites, stuff like that, like rock climbing, stuff like that. There's always like this flow that like you can get into, and you're no longer thinking about. You don't really think of. I don't know. I can't really explain it. You're not.
No, I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's
you yourself, like your thoughts of yourself, kind of go away, and it's more dedicated to the subject matter.
Yeah.
The creation. You get lost in the creation process.
Yeah.
Almost.
You're lost in it. Yeah, that's true because.
Lost in it.
Yeah. Because usually the way we're conditioned to think in today's modern culture and society is what can I get from this? What am I going to gain from it? Is it going to make me look good?
Yes.
Am I going to make more money? And when you're, like you guys were saying, when you guys are dedicated to an art and you're writing music or you're painting, you're not thinking about yourself. You're not even thinking about what you have to gain from it. Practically speaking, there's nothing to gain. Unless you're like, unless you're doing it for that particular purpose, in which the art itself is going to suffer.
Yeah.
Because it has to come from inside in order for it to be quality.
And
relative, subjective.
Yeah, something that I think is so great about art is that whether it's good or bad, you feel something. You always have a certain, that your art has an effect.
Yeah.
It has an effect on people because it came from you. You know, your feelings, everything that you used to make it, all of that is being projected into something physical.
Yeah.
And now that physical thing is there for others to see. So I feel like there's so much benefit for
so
other,
love.
other people. Yeah, love.
That comes back to it.
Exactly. Yeah. Other people can benefit from it. You know, other people can feel inspired, and kind of like what the podcast did for me. I feel like I benefited from it. But that can,
really cool of you.
That can happen from different things, and I mean, it's not always positive. There can be negative effects. There's there's propaganda, there's controversial art, political art. Those are all things that all have messages, and they all convey something.
Yeah,
we're all affected by it.
Those are a little bit more deliberate. Would you say those have a little bit more on the purposeful side? Yeah. Reminds me of a quote from Willy. Nope. That's the original. Not Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
And somebody remember when Charlie was talking to that other kid and he was kind of a punk and he was like, "This is so stupid. Like, what's the point?" And Charlie was like, "That's the point. Candy doesn't have to have a point.
Yeah.
It's just candy. Like, it's there to make people happy." And I feel that way about art a lot.
Me too.
Yeah. It doesn't have to have a point.
Yeah.
Unless the art forms that you just mentioned, political art and things like that. If you're just strumming on your guitar. You wrote a song, is
it going to contribute to
that? You're not going to talk somebody off the ledge with that
exactly.
song.
Well, one of the things that you said about like appreciating beauty, what other animal or what if are there does any animal?
Yeah. Humans.
It's just
they're just wired. They're wired to survive. That's true. The fact that we have that capacity shows that we're meant to not only enjoy it, but to create it, to push it out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.